She just came back from competing in the Miss America pageant. Miss Connecticut Kaitlyn Tarpey is here with us today. Kaitlyn, you made the top 10. Congratulations on that. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
And what was that like for you, making the top 10?
Well, I made the top 15 first, and I made it through 2 rounds of elimination. And when I was called into the top 15, I didn't hear my name. So I was standing there holding Miss Colorado and Miss Delaware's hands, and all of a sudden I hear this influx of applause. And then I walked up to our position, and in that moment I just relaxed, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to rumble, let's go. And my best friend, who's Miss Georgia, was called into the top 15 right after me. And so I'm standing there so calm and composed, and I know that at home the TV viewers are getting a split screen, and Miss Georgia's called into the top 15, and I like double fist pump. I don't know what I did. But I double fist pumped, and Carly came and she ran into my arms, and I was just so happy for her. And so through the top 15, the top 12, and the top 10, we were there together.
Is there a picture of you in the
There's a picture, not fist pumping, thank God. Not fist pumping, but there is a picture of us embracing, and you could just see in the photo how proud we are of each other.
Now, the bond that you have with Carly, does that bond go throughout the girls, or you?
Yeah, you always get told as a state title holder that when you go to Miss America, you're going to create this sisterhood. And everyone is a little skeptical because you think when you go into a room with 52 other girls, there's going to be a little bit of like, attitude.
Absolute tension or something.
Yeah, but there was none. I mean, it's so nice being surrounded by girls who are intelligent and driven and talented and beautiful and service-oriented and have high morals, and the amount of love that we all have for each other and the amount of support that we all have for each other is immeasurable. And I don't know how I'm going to have 52 bridesmaids. I mean, I'm going to have to have a really big wedding, but it's just, we're together for 2 weeks, but I know that we'll be in touch for the rest of our lives just because that's the type of people that we are.
And did you have your mom or family in the audience?
A lot of people were there. My mom is one of 12, and my dad is one of 3, and my stepmom is one of 3, and everyone was there. So there was a very large crowd from Connecticut, and I could hear them. That's for sure.
They were probably cheering, just screaming.
Yeah, but they had totally, and they had told me afterwards that people in their sections, when people were eliminated or if their girl didn't make the top 15, they were cheering for me, and it makes it that much more important, I guess, as a representative of a state, to be told that people who are from other states were also cheering for you and rooting you on, and it's just a really nice feeling.
How was that representing Connecticut through this whole experience?
Awesome. I mean, I have the best job in the state of Connecticut, I think. No offense to you.
Take it.
So I was so proud to represent Connecticut, and I actually I haven't really talked about my Miss America interview with anybody, and in my Miss America interview I was asked about Sandy Hook, and I started to cry, and I walked out of that interview room and I was just like, oh my God, I blew it. I cried in my Miss America interview. But at the end of the day, as Miss Connecticut, I represent gun control, the children of Sandy Hook Elementary School, and I really thought that I wasn't going to get that chance to compete on Sunday night because Miss America is tough, and she's able to handle those questions. But at the end of the day, I'm a real person, and I think the judges saw that. And as Miss Connecticut, you bet your bottom dollar I have a lot of hard and emotional feelings on that issue because it's so close to home. So close to home. I have family members in Sandy Hook. So when I walked out of that interview room, and in that interview room I said, as Miss Connecticut, I'd like to say that we do choose love. And in that moment, it was kind of this overwhelming recognition that I really am representing a state that's so much more than just the letters on my sash. So just knowing that, and then knowing that I was able to advance to the top 10, makes me feel better about myself. And I'm always trying to empower other people to follow their dreams and to reach their goals and to be the best that they can be every single day.
It sounds like you inspired young girls around the country who might also have red hair and freckles, right?
I love being a redhead. There's a point in my life where I wanted to dye my hair and wear a lot of makeup, and everyone goes through that phase. But in my intro, when I was called into the top 15, when I was fist pumping, on the stage. The viewers at home were seeing me say that if you have red hair, don't dye your hair, don't wear a lot of makeup to cover your freckles, you're beautiful the way you are, I love you. And just that little 30-second video has caused an influx of messages. Just the fact that I was able to inject confidence in other people and have mothers send me messages saying, my daughter thought you were speaking directly to her. She had the biggest smile on her face, or her smile was ear to ear, and she doesn't want to dye her hair anymore. I mean, that is what Miss America is to me. And what's so great is that our current Miss America, Nina, is the first Indian American Miss America. And she is promoting the message of cultural diversity and the idea that you can be Miss America and look like her. And I was promoting the idea that you can be Miss America and look like me. And I came home and I was like, well, I did my job.
So the hard work paid off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any moment where you wish, I wish I won, but...
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
There's totally that moment of, oh, so close. I was so close. And honestly, I felt so great about my competition on Sunday night. I was very calm. I had the most adrenaline ever for my talent routine. And do I think I would be a great Miss America? Absolutely. I would have loved the job. I would have worked my butt off. But you have to also realize that I've walked away as a top 10 placement, as a $10,000 scholarship winner, as someone who's empowered redheads all over the country, as someone who has represented Connecticut to the best of my ability. And I mean, that's a hashtag winning. I can't be upset. I can't. And that's why, you know, I have some people be like, oh, are you upset or are you angry? I can't be. The experience was so wonderful. And I'm like, I think it just hit me that it's over. It was just so unexpected and so awesome. It was so awesome. I'm just so blessed. I really am.